First on the show today, the Nigerian government says it has spent about 12.5 billion naira to recover gold from artisanal miners through its gold acquisition program and unveiled a project and committee aimed at eliminating mercury use in gold mining. Meanwhile, the Minister of Solid Minerals recently announced that investment into lithium processing from China have hit $1.3 billion. Peter Nwaobi, Senior Manager, Tax and Mining at KPMG Nigeria, joins me now for more on this discussion. Peter, thanks a lot for joining us on the show today. Busy time for the mining industry. On the back of the reforms we've seen so far, we are still seeing the government take on some active steps in trying to formalize the artisanal gold mining space. I'd like your take around this 12.5 billion naira gold recovery strategy the government has taken on at this moment. And then when you juxtapose it to the likes of Ghana as well, do you think it's time for Nigeria to have a gold board that is really in charge of this sort of transactions?
Okay, thanks for having me on the show. Yes, it's actually a very good initiative from the federal government at this time. In 2022, the PAGMI was introduced into the country. That's the Presidential Gold Development Initiative was introduced, and an offshoot of that initiative was the NGPP, which is the National Gold Purchase Program. The National Gold Purchase Program is what we are seeing at play currently, both in conjunction with the SMDF and the Nigerian Mining, the Ministry of Solid Mineral Development, and both of them together in conjunction are the ones that are actually doing this gold acquisition system. What's this all about? So as to just clear the air, it's so much about creating a central system where artisanal and small-scale gold miners will come together, be able to declare their gold, and then the government buys it off in naira, not in dollars, which is also a gain for the government, because even though they are buying in naira, to the government is going to be sold in USD, which is going to boost our foreign reserves. The investment you're seeing there of 12.5 billion is more of what was used in creating that opportunity, that framework for them to be able to do it. And when you compare it to the market board in Ghana, like you said, that is working for them. Ghana is among the continent's largest gold producers. I would say we are still at the very starting point. There's still a lot to do in this regard, but it's actually making some positive traction. And these gold artisanal miners, before now, they would typically export largely illegally.
Yes, smuggling remains a big challenge.
Yes, but through this means they are able to declare, formalize, register, and then of course help. It has registering and formalization of these guys actually has
tracking mechanisms.
Absolutely. Yeah, it also has a lot of downstream benefits to the federal government in terms of royalties, in terms of taxes and all. So I think it's a good step in the right direction, and it's something that should be applauded.
Okay. And talking about some of the movements we've seen from government and announcements so far, one of the key sectors we're also looking at the new tax reforms, the impact is on the mining sector as well. Now, this is also big news for the industry, but walk us through your expectations around how this might impact the industry.
Yes, the tax reforms kicks in January next year.
Sure.
And this is actually a very serious conversation for all companies in Nigeria without exception, and individuals alike. It also impacts the personal income tax. But for the mining sector specifically and the players therein, the tax reforms actually does have both positives and of course some negatives.
Some concerns.
Some concerns which I've sat in several rooms with some of the stakeholders in the sector, and they have been talking to us, we've been talking to them.
What's the biggest feedback?
The biggest feedback is that it's not entirely favorable. But permit me, I would like to start from the favorable. The fact is, before now, they used to enjoy pioneer status, which is for about 3 years, and opportunity of extension for 2 years, but pioneer status was scrapped, but was replaced with the economic development incentive, EDTI, tax incentive, economic development tax incentive, which is for 5 years and possible extension for another 5 years, which is 10 years. So that's a positive. But if you want to look at the downsides for them, there is this automatic tax holiday that the tax reforms that typically companies in the mining sector enjoy, but the tax reforms seems to have expunged or repealed. So before now, they can enjoy free 3 years tax holiday for 3 years with a possible extension for 2, both under the Companies Income Tax Act and under the Mining Act. But now that doesn't exist again. So, and another bigger one for them is the increase in royalty rate from 3 to 7.5 for some specific minerals, and from 5 to 10 for some other minerals. But gold saw the highest increase in royalty rate for whatever reason, from 3% to 15%, which is quite significant. So we have our gold operators. Actually, there's an outcry from the gold operators as to why that significant increase, but just to limit it to those specific ones that impact the sector.
Okay, we press for time, but wrapping up the conversation, let's talk about the overall competitiveness of the market and how attractive it is now. When we look at critical minerals as well, we're seeing countries across the continent taking a much more strategic position. We're seeing inflows from China into this value chain at this moment, looking at lithium processing. For you, how much opportunities lie about? And then in terms of the areas of risks or concerns with this inflow of investments, China, for example?
The opportunities are vast, and if I'm to limit it to just lithium, lithium was discovered in 2022 in commercial quantities in Nigeria, and since then we've had a lot of influx of investors. The minister was quoted recently, earlier this month, to say about 1.3 billion worth of investment has come in some from China specifically. And it's not of a surprise, because China is today one of the largest, not one of the largest producers of electric vehicles, EVs. They actually account for over 70% of the world's electric vehicles. Electric vehicles run on batteries. The best brands of batteries are lithium-ion batteries. So when you see China interested in countries that have lithium reserves, it's quite understandable why they are doing this. But Nigeria has taken a very bold step in ensuring that investors who come in for our lithium don't only come here to mine them and take them off. They must build processing plants in-house to be able to ensure that the value chain is extended. Some value addition is achieved in Nigeria.
And transfer of knowledge.
And transfer of knowledge, absolutely. So the opportunities are there because we have the minerals, and then of course there is job creation in the process, there is taxes paid in the process, and not just an import-export system. But the risk I see with China specifically is because the end point is not to use may not be to use the lithium here.
Okay.
It's to fuel the EV industry in China.
The economy.
I know a similar issue happened in 23 when Tesla came to Nigeria. They just wanted our lithium, but the ministry rejected that offer. So that's about it. The opportunities are there, but there are some concerns around the arrangement.
Peter, we'll have to leave the conversation here for now. I wish we had more time to exhaust this conversation, but thank you so much for your time. That was Peter Nwaobi, Senior Manager, Tax Mining at KPMG. You're still watching Closing Bell West Africa. When we come back, we'll be shifting the gears to the power sector. Don't go away.